Kindly confirm whether my screen is visible to you. Okay. Is my screen visible to you? Okay, fine. And I also share this document with you all. Okay, kindly make use of the document. Let us understand the question and we'll try to work out if in case that has to be worked out. And we will also understand why the answers been ticked up. That is what answer we need to pick up and how we are deriving that particular answers. So question number one. A company has a dash. A. Perpetual succession. B. It has a separate legal entity. C. There is a common seal. And D. All of the above. So this is basically the features of a company, the characteristics features of a company, which you might have learned in your business studies too. So according to that, you let me know what could be the answer for this. A company has a dash. Whether it has a perpetual succession? Does it has a perpetual succession? Okay, it has a separate legal entity. Does it have a common seal also? So obviously, when all the three are correct, then the answer should be all the above. Can you able to understand? Moving on to the second question. In case of company limited by share, the liability of a member in a company is A. Limited, B. Unlimited, C. Both A and B, D. None of this. The question itself has mentioned very clearly that in case of company where the shares are being limited, then obviously the liability of the members in the company will also be what? You have a clue over here. Company limited by shares. Obviously, it should be limited. Okay, so definitely there will be some clue existing in the question. Okay, so think about it and then you take up a call. Which one you are going to block it out. Can you move on to the next question? The next question is minimum number of members in a public company is A. 2 members, B. 7 members, C. 20, and D. It is 200. Look at the question very carefully. They have asked us only the minimum number of members. Okay, they have asked us only the minimum number of members. So, which is the right answer? Which will be the right answer? Very good. So, option B is the correct answer. Now, moving on to question number 4. In case of one person company, maximum paid up capital should not exceed. So I hope you all are also having your textbook side by side. So certain questions you can refer even in your textbook because it could be from in text also. So don't expect that all MCQs needs to be straightforward and it will be known to everyone. Even the sections. Okay, there are some sections. According to the section also they may ask you some questions. Okay, so always remember that you read the question carefully and then you read your textbook in text thoroughly so that you will able to answer any type of theory questions. So question number 4, in case of a person company, in case of one person company, maximum paid up capital should not exceed. So the maximum word is given here. Okay, maximum paid up capital should not exceed what value in this situation? A, 50 lakh, it is 100 lakh. C, amount of rupees 200 lakhs. And D, none of these. Are you sure? 200 lakhs. Okay. The difference between both these answer to an extent of 150 lakhs. Make sure which one is right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So in the question, it is mentioned. Okay. How it is mentioned? If you see page number 9.3 in your textbook, 1% company, only a natural person being an Indian citizen and the resident in India can form this type of company, and 1% company can form one by only one person or to become nominee or only one such company. It cannot be formed for a charitable purpose and cannot carry out a non-banking financial investment activities, including the investments in securities of any of the body corporate. It's paid up share capital. The word is mentioned very clear. Okay. So in case of one person company, maximum paid up capital. Okay. It's paid up share capital is not more than rupees 50 lakhs. Its average annual turnover of 3 years should not exceed 2 crores. So the annual turnover should not exceed 2 crores. Okay, but whereas it has mentioned very clearly the amount of the paid up capital is not more than 50 lakhs. So obviously we are asking the maximum limit only. In case of one person company, maximum paid up capital should not exceed. So it said it should not be more than 50 lakhs. Okay. So what will be the answer now? Of course, sometimes the textual, okay, the answer key might also be wrong. Okay. But now you tell me, in case of one person company, what is your maximum value of capital? That is maximum paid up capital. Vignesh, it was given as 200 lakhs in the answer key, I think so. Am I right? Vignesh, in our answer key, it is given as 200 lakhs. I hope so. Correct? Okay. That's why we always say don't just blindly follow the answer key. Ensure that you read the question carefully, you cross verify the answer with the textbooks, and then we will take up a call. So here the value 50 lakhs you will choose or 200 lakhs you are going to choose. Which one is the right answer now? 50, right? Am I right? Hello? Yes. So correct, Anushri. Your answer is right, 50 lakhs. Moving on to the question number 5. As per the SEBI guidelines, so I hope you all know what is SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India guidelines. Minimum subscription, okay, minimum subscription shall be fixed at A, 90 percentage of the issued amount, B, 90% of the authorized capital, C, 85 percentage of issued amount, or 90 percentage of the authorized capital. If you look here, again there is a mistake. correct? Again, there is a mistake. What is the mistake? If you look at this question, what is the mistake? Can you locate the mistake in this question? Students can able to locate or highlight the mistake in this question. I'm not getting you properly, ma. Can you please make it clear what is the error in this question? Whether the error is the question or the option. The error lies over here. Both these are both these are same options, right? 90% of the authorized capital, 90% of the authorized capital. Have you seen this? Did you see this particular option? Both the options are showing the same options. Can any such MCQ have the same option? Yeah. So be careful. Sometimes when we refer the text, there can be some errors too. Okay, so ensure what is right. In the earlier case, we found the answer option. Okay, the answer was given wrongly. Here, the options have been repeated wrongly. Okay, but what we know, minimum subscription shall be fixed at how much? 90 percentage of issued amount. Okay, we have different types of capital. I hope so you understand. Authorized capital, issued capital, subscribed capital, and then paid up capital, called up capital, uncalled capital, like that. So I am issuing, for example, 1 lakh shares. That 1 lakh shares will only go for the public subscriptions. If public have subscribed 90 percentage, which is declared as a minimum percentage of subscription, then obviously we can say it like the company should have received minimum 90% of the issued amount. So the minimum subscription is based on the issued capital only. Am I making it clear to you all? Am I making it clear to you? Okay. So moving on to question number 6. The portion of subscribed capital which can be called up only on the winding up of the company. So name the capital that can be used at the time of winding up or liquidation of a company. So authorized capital can't be the one because it is the capital which is used in the beginning for forming a company. So it is the maximum amount of capital that can be obtained by the company from issue of share to its members, that is to its applicants, shareholders. Reserve capital is there and called up capital is there, uncalled capital is there. Called up capital is nothing but from the authorized capital we have issued some portion of the capital to the public for subscription, and the shares are getting subscribed, and once the shares get subscribed we go with the calls. So called up capital becomes a part of the process. So you have authorized, issued, then subscribed, and then called up. And uncalled capital in the sense like it is a part of the total face value of the shares. For example, if there is 10 rupees is declared as a face value, for example, look here. Okay, suppose if the face value of the share is rupees 10, which has got divided into segments like application, then allotment, then calls. Okay, suppose on application I say it is rupees 3 per share. On allotment I say it is rupees 2 per share. When I talk about the calls, I am making test there are three calls. So in one call 2 rupees, and in the second call it is 2 rupees, and in the third and final call it is 1 rupee. Now the split up of the face value is given here. Suppose out of 10, if I have received application alone means, then the called up would have been only rupees 3 out of 10. If suppose the information in the question is only up to the stage of allotment, they have not given anything with respect to calls, like how much calls has been done by the company and how many calls are there in the company's list. Then up to this stage, if you see, I will club application and allotment together. That becomes 5 rupees. So 5 rupees will be my called up capital. The remaining 5 rupees out of 10 will be declared as my uncalled capital. Can you able to follow what I'm trying to say? Students, can you able to understand what I'm trying to communicate? Okay, so this is what uncalled capital. So that means the authorized capital, called up, and uncalled, these all belongs to one common category. That is, in our capital structure, this comes as one below the other. The only item which remains, okay, something reserve or which remains odd is nothing but the reserve capital. It is the capital which is being utilized at the time of winding up of the company. Always we used to say that don't get confused with reserve capital and capital reserve. Capital reserve is a capital profit which the company gets by issuing those forfeited shares at a reissue price, whether at par, premium, or discount. But reserve capital is the capital which will be utilized only at the time of winding up of the company. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Okay. So reserve capital. Now moving on to question number 7. Okay. So question number 7 talks about the authorized capital of the company, which is mentioned in what, okay, registers, or which is mentioned at where, whether it is mentioned in the memorandum of association, or has it been mentioned in the articles of association, or will it be mentioned in the prospectus, or it will be mentioned in our none of these, or where it will be mentioned. Okay, so this is what we need to confirm it. Okay, so first one is memorandum of association. It is a document which the company will have to submit at the time of obtaining their certification, that is registration certificate, and at this time of, okay, certificate of commencement of business. So in that they should have mentioned about the types of shares they are going to issue, and the authorized value of the share capital, and also the face value of the shares. All those basic inputs they have to mention it. Okay, so it is considered to be as a most important document which the company has to prepare while they are forming a company. Articles of association. This is also a document which will be furnished along with the memorandum while getting the certificates. But in this, you will not find the authorized capital of the company. And in prospectus, we only inform how many shares, what is the face value, type of share, name of the companies. So all those inputs only will be given to us. So among these three, which one you will select it, whether it is authorized capital, sorry, whether it is the memorandum of association or articles of association. A, B. A, good. So we will be selecting the option A. So A is the right answer. Moving on to question number 8. Rate of dividend on equity shareholder is A 10 percentage, B 5 percentage, C 20 percentage, and D is rate not fixed. So what will be the answer in this category for this question? Answer please. The dividend rate, B or B? B. Good. So it is the right answer. So just to make you understand, the word dividend is given here. Dividend is nothing but it is the return for the amount of capital invested in a company's share. Okay, so it is the return for the investments done in the share capital. So return for the investment on shares. And to whom it will be provided? It will be provided only to the shareholders. Okay, so when it will be provided? It will be provided only when there is a profit earned by the business, that is earned by the company. And when I talk about the shareholders are of two types. So one is your preference shareholder and other one is your equity shareholders. For preference shareholder only we can able to fix the rate of dividend. Okay, for the preference shareholder only we can able to fix up the rate of dividend. For equity we can't fix what is the rate of dividend. If at all the same question is being mentioned in such a way that company has got 5% preference shares worth or amounting to 10 lakhs and the firm has earned a profit of rupees 5 crores, what would be the dividend payable to the shareholders? In that case, the amount of dividend might have been given as the options. So you need to apply the percentage of the preference shareholders on the amount of net profit earned by the business. That will give you the dividend amount payable. Okay, so you always understand the concept and give your answer. Yes, the answer what you give is correct. Because wherever there is a necessity for the explanation, I have to give the explanation. That's why I'm giving you the explanation. The next one is as per the SEBI guidelines. Okay, so now we are getting some guidelines. SEBI guidelines. Application money should not be less than dash percentage of the issue price of each shares. So very good. So 25 percentage. Okay, this is one of the most important thing. So SEBI has guided in such a way that the application money, okay, should not be less than dash percentage. So 25 percentage of the issue price of each shares. You may ask, sir, application money means we will get full only, no? Why there is percentage? See, they are not asking you in application how much percentage you will receive. The question is said the SEBI has guided the companies to fix up the price of each and every calls. That means application money should be what value from the face value of the share. Then allotment should be how much, and call money. There are three calls means how much should be for one call, second call, third call. So like that, there are some guidelines issued by SEBI. According to that particular given guidelines, it is mentioned that 25 percentage will be allocated for the application money. Say for example, if your face value of the share is given as rupees 50, for example I'm saying it, okay, if the face value of any company share is 50 means in this 50 rupees 25%, okay, that is one fourth. or 25 percentage also you can say it of. Okay, so 25 percentage means how much will be fixed for your application money. So that you should know. If you cancel the common zeros, okay, so 25 by 2, that means it becomes 12 rupees 50 paise. Okay, so as per this example, I'm saying it. So in the same way, depends from every question. Based on the face value only, we can able to bring out the split ups. How much for application, how much for allotment, calls, all those things. So as per the SEBI guideline, 25 percentage is declared as the amount which should not exceed. Okay, the amount should not exceed 25 percentage. Okay, that is, it should not be less than 25%, not exceed. It should not be less than 25 percentage. Any doubt up to this? Okay, moving on to question number 10. What is mentioned here? Rishi Limited invited the applications for issuing 1000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. So 1000 equity shares of 100 each. This is the number of shares. This is the face value. At a premium of 20%. So it is issued at a premium. The whole amount was payable on application. So the entire amount is payable on application. The issue has got fully subscribed. Amount received on application will be. So first you tell me what type of problem is this? Whether is it an installment based problem or is it a problem of one single shot payment, that is lump sum? Is it a problem based on installment method or lump sum method? We discussed about the methods, right? Lump sum. Very good. Because the question is mentioned very clearly over here. The whole amount was payable on application. So this is the clue. Okay. The whole amount is payable on application is the clue for this particular question. So you have to understand how much will have been received. So 100 rupees is the face value, okay, of the share, and they have said like 20 percentage, okay, is your premium. So that means common 100 got cancelled. So 20 rupees will be your premium. Okay, so 100 plus 20, then that means that gives you 120 rupees as the issue price. Your issue price will be 120 rupees. Now, 1000 into 120 will give you how much? 1000 into 120 will give you how much? 1,20,000? 1000 into 120 will give you how much more? 1,20,000 you will get it? So amount of rupees 1,20,000 will be our answer. So option B should be ticked for this question. Is this clear to you? Is it clear to you? Okay. Moving on to question number 11. Rishi Limited was registered with a capital of rupees 3 lakh in equity shares of rupees 100 each. So they said what is a registered capital and what type of capital it is. It is on equity basis. Okay, and the face value is given as 100 rupees each. It issued 2000 of such shares payable rupees 25 as per share on application, rupees 25 on allotment, rupees 20 on first call, and the balance as and when required. So now if you could see, out of 100 rupees, 25 rupees plus 25 rupees comes to 50 rupees. 50 rupees plus 20 is 70. So out of 100, we have got the split up of 70. The remaining 30 rupees is still to be mentioned, but they said it is on the calls and they'll make it as and when required. Okay, and the balance as and when required. All amounts payable on application and allotment were duly received. Okay, so here they said the money on application and allotment have been received, but company could not call the first call money. So what is the first call money? Rupees 20. They were unable to make a call of first call. As on what date? 31st March 2021. Total amount to be received by the company till 31/3/2021 will be what? So we should now here calculate what would have been the total amount received, okay, by the company as on a given date is. So calculate and tell me what will be the value is. So number of shares issued is how much in this case? Very. So the number of shares issued is 2000 shares. Okay, so 2000 shares have been issued as on date, and the amount that has got collected is you have got your application money and you have also got your value on allotment. So 25 rupees is 50 rupees. So 2000 rupee shares into 50 rupees, this will give you amount of rupees 1 lakh. Can you able to understand how I am deriving the values? So the amount of rupees 1 lakh will be the correct answer. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. Moving on to sum number 12. X Limited issued 75,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 40%. So number of shares issued is 75,000 and face value is 10, premium is 40%. So that means you just calculate on the face value 10 into 40, okay, by 100. So 10 into 40 by 100. What will be your amount? 4 rupees. So 4 rupees will be your premium amount. Okay, your premium amount is 4. So total issue price will be rupees 14. 10 rupees face value plus 4 rupees premium. 14 rupees will be your issue price. The whole amount was payable on application. So what type of payment is this? Lump sum or installment? Is it a lump sum or installment? Lump sum. Very good. Excellent. So applications for 1,20,000 shares were received. Oh my goodness. So here if you see company is issuing only 75,000, but you are getting applications for 1,20,000 shares. Okay, that means what type of subscription is this? What type of subscription is this? Over subscription. Excellent. So now if you could see how much you have to refund, they are asking us. Okay, 1,20,000 shares were received, amount refunded. Okay, so amount refunded by the company will be how much? So you have to be very careful. In this case they are not given anything with respect to the adjustment of that excess application money, whether they are going to do on pro rata basis or have they rejected the shares or they have given on the combination of both. That means pro rata to an extent and rejection to an extent. Okay, first you calculate how much you would have received on the entire value of 1,20,000 shares. So if you could see 1,20,000 into 14. Okay, so you have got 1,20,000 application, right? So 1,20,000 into 14 will give you how much the value is. Calculate this. Calculate and tell me what is the amount you will be receiving it. Okay, 1,20,000 amount of rupees. How much will be the value? Amount of rupees. You are giving the final value. Okay, let us go by step. Okay, so that everyone will also understand. So 1,20,000 into 14 will give me how much as the value? The amount received so far. It's very simple. 1 lakh into 14 will give you how much? And 2014 you can club and you can do it, or you calculate 1,20,000 Okay, into 10 will give you how much? 12 lakhs. And then again 1,20,000 into 4 will give you how much? 1,20,000 into 4, 4 lakh 80. So 12 plus 4, 16 lakhs 80,000. You'll be getting an amount of 16 lakhs and 80,000 when you multiply 14 into 1,20,000. Okay, so then what is the amount to be received? Here I'll get 16 lakh 80,000. Now you calculate what is the amount that I should receive on 75,000 shares. So when I multiply 75,000 into 14, how much will I get it? Or how much I have to get it? How much will I be getting it? 10 lakh 50. Very good. So that means actually I should receive an amount of rupees 10 lakh 50 only, but I received 16 lakh 80. The excess money, as he said, it is rupees 6 lakhs 30,000. Since it is a lump sum method where you don't have any other stages where you can use the amount, where you can use the amount on the adjustments. Okay, where you can use the amount on the adjustments. So this is how we will be calculating for this problem. Okay, any doubts so far? Right. So how about for others, Tanushri and even for Arun, Krishna, Vignesh? I hope everyone are able to understand the concepts. Right, can you move on to next question, question number 13? Okay, so question number 13. VK Limited invited the applications for 20,000 shares at the rate of rupees 10, each payable as rupees 4 on application, rupees 5 on allotment, and balance on calls. So if you could see, the number of applications issued was 20,000, they are called at 10 rupees, and it was at par. They are not given as premium and all. And 4 rupees is on application and 5 rupees on allotment. That means out of 10 rupees, 9 rupees split up is given, and balance on call, they said obviously only 1 rupee is there on call, and that can be only first and final call. So applications were received for only 12,000 shares. Amount to be transferred to capital account is, okay, so you have received only 12,000 shares. Now you have to be very careful before you proceed further. Okay, before you proceed further, you have to be very careful. Why? In the sense is, you have issued how many shares? 20,000 shares. But how much you have received? 12,000 shares. Just you calculate and see whether is it 90 percentage of the issued capital, because we need to receive the minimum subscription, right? We have to receive something called minimum subscription. So what is the minimum subscription? The minimum, okay, subscription is 90 percentage. Am I right? So minimum subscription is 90 percentage, we should derive it. So on the issued capital, that is what is 90 percentage of 20,000. Check out what is 90% of 20,000. So 20,000 into 90, okay, by 100. Check out what you are getting there. 0 and 1 0 gets cancelled, and here 0. So 2000 into 9. That means 2000 into 9 means it comes to 18,000. So you should have received applications from the public for 18,000 shares. Only then you can proceed further. Since you have received only for 12,000 shares, which is below the 90% subscription, you cannot transfer any money to the share capital. So you can have to refund the money. Okay, so whatever the money that you have collected from those 12,000 shares as on date, that has to be refunded. So it is going to be as nil. Okay, in this case, it's going to be as nil. Can you able to understand? Everyone, why we are okay declaring this as an option? Nil. Because in this case, the minimum subscription is not attained by the company. That is the reason. Am I making sense to you all? The next question. X Limited purchased the business of B Limited. Okay. So now the other concept comes into picture. So X Limited have purchased the business of B Limited. For what value? For an amount of rupees 6 lakhs, payable in fully paid shares of rupees 10 each. What concept is this? You tell me what concept is this first. There are two concepts I thought, right? Issue of share for cash. Very good. So it is the concept that is purchasing consideration, that is issue of share on a consideration basis other than cash. The second category. Okay, so shares have been issued for a consideration basis. So it is said very clearly, you have purchased a business for rupees 6 lakhs, which has to be paid in fully paid shares of rupees 10 each. They are not said whether it is at par or premium. So when nothing is mentioned, it is at par only. So what you are going to do, you are going to just divide the face value of the share having the amount to be paid on a numerator. Okay, that means the amount to be paid is 6 lakhs. Okay, so very simple. One share costing rupees 10, I have to make the payment of rupees 6 lakhs. Okay, so how much shares I have to issue? So just cross multiply and divide by 10. So 6 lakhs by 10. What will be the value? It should be as how much? How many shares the company has to issue? Company has to issue very 60,000 shares. Is this clear to you and can you able to follow? Is it easy or do you feel difficult to understand the concepts? I hope it is easy only because we have taught you the basics with respect to share capital where we have discussed everything theoretically. Now we are working out on the practical problems. Next question. X Limited has purchased the business of B Limited for the value of rupees 6 lakhs and 75,000. Okay, so value of purchase is 6 lakhs 75,000. Payable in fully paid shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 25 percentage. Okay, so the earlier one was at par, here it is at premium. So number of shares to be issued by A Limited will be, okay, so we should understand how many shares the company has to issue. So very simple. Now you are going to issue at premium. So that means 25% premium. On which price you will calculate premium on your face value. So it is given that company's face value is 10 rupees. Sorry, just a minute. So companies, okay, amount face value is rupees 10 and it is given premium 25 percentage. So this 25 percentage you need to apply on this 10 rupees. So when I apply, okay, 25 percentage on 10 rupees, how much will I get it? So 1010 gone. 25 by 10, which is nothing but, is it 2.5? Yes. So 2 rupees 50 paise, that is the meaning. Okay. So 10 rupees is the face value and 2 rupees 50 paise is the premium. Altogether it comes to an amount of rupees 12 rupees 50 paise. Okay. That means my issue price will be 12 rupees and 50 paise. Okay. So 12.50. So if one share I'm going to issue at 12.50, if I want to make the payment of this value 6 lakhs and 75,000, okay, rupees, how many shares I have to issue? Just cross multiply and divide it. So 6 lakhs and 75,000 divided by 12 rupees 50 paise. So when you do this, cancel out the common zeros and then you go ahead, okay, or you can do other way, you can remove the, okay, zeros plus the decimals by multiplying the numerator and the denominator with 100, because there are two decimals, so that will give you a value without the numericals or without the decimals. That helps us easy to calculate it. So how many shares you have to issue in this case then? Work out and tell me. 54,000, yes, correct. So we have to issue 54,000 shares so that the value 6,70,000 will come to the end. I hope up to this is very clear to everyone, no doubt to anyone. Shall I move further? Okay, question number 16. So in question number 16, it is mentioned that X Limited has purchased a running business of Y Limited for a sum of rupees 30 lakhs. So there is a value at which they have purchased the business 30 lakhs. Payable 40 percentage by a check and the balance by issue of fully paid equity shares of rupees 100 each at a premium of 20 percentage. Okay, so first let us understand, okay, how many shares to be issued at premium. For this, first you should know what is 40 percentage of rupees 30 lakhs, because the amount you have to pay is 30 lakhs, and what they said that 30 lakhs you are going to make a payment in such a way, okay, one part by check and other part by shares. Okay, that is what it is mentioned. This 30 lakhs payment, you're going to do it in two ways. One by issue of shares to some extent and by issue of check. Okay, so it is a payment by two methods. Partly by cash, rest by check, and partly by shares. So calculate what is 40 percentage of 30 lakhs. Okay, derive the value. 30 lakhs into 40 by 100. So what amount you get? 0, 0 getting cancelled, and 1 0 from here, 1 0 from here, it's getting cancelled. So 3 lakh into 4 will give you how much? 12 lakhs? Will it be 12 lakhs? So that means you have to issue check for rupees 12 lakhs. So out of, okay, 30 lakhs, 12 lakh rupees is going to be issued by check, means what is the remaining amount for which you have to issue the shares? That you tell me. Out of 30 lakhs, if 12 lakh is going to be on check basis, then what will be on share basis? The amount. This gives you, okay, an amount of rupees 12 lakhs. Check is 12 lakhs. What will be the amount on shares? In 30,000, 12 lakh is gone for check, means what will be the balance? No, ma, first tell me the balance, Kanna. On share, how much you have to pay? The payment to be made is, the payment to be done in this case is share level of pay பண்ணணும். Check 12 lakhs out of 30 lakhs. The balance will be how much? In 30 lakhs, 12 lakhs is going for check means what will be the balance? Are you able to follow me what I'm asking? Very good ma. அதை சொல்றதுக்கு இத்தனை நேரமா? அந்த 18 lakhங்கிற ஒரு ஆன்சர் சொல்றதுக்கு இத்தனை நேரமா? See, only if you go by step process, you will able to understand, right? Because some might be fast in understanding, some might be little bit slow in understanding. So let make things very clear how we are deriving it, what we are doing it, and how we are applying it. Okay, all those things, if it make very clear, then everyone can able to understand the things easily. Okay, so in the form of share, you have to, okay, issue for 18 lakhs. So you have to settle 18 lakhs by shares, 12 lakh by check. For this 18 lakh, you are going to issue shares, okay, 100 rupees face value share at a premium of 20. That means 20 rupees is your premium. So 120 rupees going to be your issue price. Your issue price is going to be as 120 rupees. So now let us see for this 18 lakhs how many shares to be issued. So 18 lakhs divided by 120. Am I right? Is it right? 18 lakhs. Okay, so 18 lakhs to be divided by 120. How? The same way. One share is costing rupees 120. I have to make a payment of 18 lakhs. Okay, so 18 lakh divided by 120. Just a cross multiplication. One is I'll derive the number of shares to be issued. So cancel out the common zeros. So now I have got, okay, 1,08,000 divided by 12. Now what value will I get? Tell me. How much, ma? Make it careful. Do the calculation carefully, no? So let me make this in three table. Okay, so three table you see 6 times 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 zeros. And this 12 will become as 4. Okay, 12 becomes as 4. Now in 4 table 60 will be how many times? 15 times. Am I right? 15 times. So 15,000 shares you need to issue in this case. Do we have 15,000 shares? Check it up. Yes. Option C is 15,000 shares only. I don't think you have any doubt up to the stage, because we are going everything line by line calculations and we are making you to understand how we are deriving the values. If at all there is any doubt, please do let me know before I go for the next problem. Shall we move on to next problem? Okay, so sum number 17. X Limited have issued 85,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each at a premium of 5% payable as 25 rupees on application, 45 rupees on allotment, which includes premium, and rupees 35 on first and final call. So 100 rupees face value shares have been issued at 5 rupees premium. That means total issue price is 105. And just ensure whether are you getting that 1 lakh 5 105 rupees split up by adding these values. 25 plus 45. This will give you how much? 70. Okay, 70 plus 35 will give you 105. Yes, perfect. So my face value, issue price, and the split up, everything is matching. Now, the applications for 8,000 shares were received. So company is issuing 8,500, but company received 8,000 shares. Just you cross verify whether this 8,500 is it 90 percentage of the value of, yes, obviously. Okay, so it is 90%. Minimum subscription problem is not there in this question. Okay, and then what it's been said, all the money was duly received except the first and final call on 200 shares. So that means what I should do? I have to ensure what is the amount that I'll be receiving altogether. So altogether, in a sense, let us make it in such a way, okay, that 8,500 shares is shoot, but 8,000 only you received it. So on 8,000 shares, how much you are about to receive on first and final call? Amount to be received on first and final call will be, okay. So calculate in such a way, on 8,000, the amount is how much they said. First and final call value is 35 rupees. Okay, so what will be the value? If you multiply 8,000 into 35, what will gives you? What you get the value as? What is the value? What will be the value? 2 lakh? See, again, you people are doing the mistake. What I'm asking, what you are saying. I'm asking you if you multiply 8,000 into 35, what value you'll get it. First answer the question I'm asking it. Then you can give the answers. If you that only are saying 2 lakh 80, yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. So it is 2 lakh 80,000. Now, what is the amount that you're not received? That means on 200 shares you didn't receive the amount they say. So 35 rupees on 200 shares. What will be the amount? Very good. Yes. So that means 7,000 rupees. So out of 2 lakh 80,000, you haven't received 7,000 rupees. So when you minus this 7,000 from 2 lakh 80, you will be getting an amount of rupees 2 lakh. Very good. Okay, 2 lakh 73,000. So if you will see here, suppose you calculate in such a way 8,000 into 35, 2 lakh 80, you get the value. But you forgot to do the subtraction. That is 7,000 rupees, you didn't get the arrear amount. If you don't subtract it from this receivable amount, you won't be getting the correct answer. But you have one wrong answer, which you may think it as correct, that is 2 lakh 80. So the teachers or the question will be framed in such a way like teachers know where you will go wrong or where you might make mistake. Based on that also they may keep one value which you might think correct because you would have derived that particular value while doing the calculations. So please double check your answer before you are ticking or before you share the respective options. Am I making sense to you? Okay. So I'm stopping it over here. We'll discuss the remaining questions in our next session tomorrow. And up to this, if you have any doubt, you can please do let me know. Any doubts you have? Okay. And this session has been recorded, okay, for the benefit of those who have not joined the morning session. And of course, I will upload the same video in our YouTube channel and then I'll forward you the link. And whenever you find any doubt with respect to calculations, you may just go and refer the particular video, which will give you the needful, which will help you out what needs to be done and how it should be done. Okay, students? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye. Welcome. Welcome, ma.